So it's been a few months since my Ironman 70.3 Valencia, and I just wanted to kind of go over my experience and do kind of a race recap. So overall, it was a lot of fun. It was challenging, but I really enjoyed the race. So before the race, I did a little bit of carb loading, nothing too crazy, but just made sure that, starting 2 days before the race, I started eating more carbs than I normally do. And then, during the race, the fueling strategy went perfectly. I was taking on probably somewhere between 60 and 80 grams of carbs per hour. For the swim, obviously, I didn't take anything. But then after I got out of the swim, before I got on the bike, I took a gel. And then my water bottles had the Morton's drink mix in it, about 80 grams of carbs in each bottle, with 2 bottles. And then, those were good for an hour each. And then I took a couple of gels with me as well in a bento box that I had on the top of my top tube on the bike, which was really nice. It worked out really well. And then for the run, I just took on the gels that they had, that they were giving out. They also had, orange slices, bananas, things like that. So they did give out some Morton's bars for the bike ride, but I didn't grab those because I had never tried it, and so I didn't want to try that on race day. And then it could have gotten my stomach upset or whatever, something I'm not used to. So, but anyways, the fueling and the hydration went off without a hitch. I didn't feel excessively tired during any part. The swim was great. Like I said, 49 minutes for me is pretty much what I figured it was going to be. I thought it'd be somewhere between 50 and 55. So, 49 came in, around, just under what I thought it was going to be. Pretty much what I thought it was going to be. And it felt like a warm up. So I got out of the water and I felt great. The first triathlon I ever did, I got out of the water after doing 750 meters, and I thought, I felt horrible. I was so tired. My shoulders were burning in the middle of the swim. I had to stop several times. So obviously I progressed a lot, and hopefully I'll keep progressing because, I want to do some more triathlons. So, hopefully I can get my swim down to 45 minutes before my next half Ironman. That would be awesome, but we'll see. And then the bike was fantastic. I kept a steady power during the whole thing. There was some climbing, so it was kind of hard to keep the power there because then I was going so slow. So there were a few times where I went over a little bit on what I wanted to keep my power at. But overall, it was great. And then downhill was awesome. It was a nice little break. Plus, I was going pretty fast on the downhill, which was fun. But yeah, it was good. And then came the run. By then it was starting to warm up a little bit. At the end of the bike, at about 80 kilometers, we were just getting back into town, and I decided to stand up on the bike and stretch my legs out a little. And then that's when both of my quads cramped. And so I was like, sat back down. The cramping went away. And then I was nervous from that point, so I just kind of took it easy on the last 10K on the bike. And I was worried the whole time that I was running that cramping was going to come back, but luckily it never did. So the run was, it wasn't bad. It was, like I said, it was starting to get hot. I thought I was going to do a little bit faster run. I don't know why I thought I was going to do a faster run, because my fastest half marathon is 2 hours and 2 minutes. And I thought I would do 2:05 or 2:10, which is, doesn't make sense, I guess, because, I just swam 1.9 kilometers and just biked 90K. So it ended up being 2:14, which is probably more realistic. It's probably what I should have thought I was going to get. But we'll see. Hopefully, I'm hoping that on my next Ironman 70.3, I can get close to 6:30. I guess it just depends on the course and the heat. It's not gonna be Valencia, so I won't have that exact same course. So we'll see, but I'm hoping. I did 6:48. I'm hoping, below 6:30 on the next run. And I think the easiest way to get to that will be just, improving on the bike. So it's been a few months. It's July 20th today. And so, since the half Ironman, I haven't been running nearly as much. I've had to travel a lot for work. That's why it's taken me so long to do this video. And then I've also been traveling for just, family vacation time. So I haven't been running nearly as much as I have been in the past, but I've been cycling a lot more than I have been, and cycling up mountains, in mountainous areas. So my biking's gotten stronger, but my running's gotten weaker. So I think it'll be easy for me to get my running back to where it was. So if I can just keep on improving on the bike and maintain my run, then I think that's where I can knock off, at least 15 minutes and get me close to that 6:30. And then if I can knock off a few minutes off the run and a minute or two off the swim, I think I should be able to do it. So we'll see. I'll go over my times right now. My time was 6 hours, 48 minutes, and 33 seconds. And that's pretty much about where I thought I was gonna be. I figured I'd be somewhere between 6:45 and 7 hours. But, I didn't have a time goal. I just wanted to finish. So if it was over 7 hours, I wouldn't have cared. I talked about in another video how I had a goal for my marathon and I didn't hit it, and it just kind of ruined my race. I knew I wasn't going to hit it in the middle of the race, and that kind of ruined the race for me. And it kind of ruined that sense of accomplishment also after the race. So I went into this race just wanting to finish it, and overall, like I said, it was great. So for the swim, I'm not a good swimmer, so it was 49 minutes, 33 seconds, which is kind of what I figured. Bike was 3 hours, 30 minutes, and 29 seconds. I think that was with 600 or 700 meters of elevation gain. And the run was 2 hours, 14 and 37 seconds. So, I thought the run was gonna be a little bit faster, but overall I'm pretty happy with that. I was able to run during the whole run part, only stopping at a few of the aid stations to take in some orange slices and things like that, gels. But yeah, overall I had a good time. It was a lot of fun. And I want to do another one. I'm thinking about doing Croatia next year in October. I would do one sooner, but we're actually moving and we're leaving Valencia at the end of the summer. And so with the move, I didn't want to do anything too big where I had, a bunch of training to do in the middle of a move. Moves are stressful enough as it is. And so, we'll wait until we're settled in, and then, although, I am looking at a sprint race in October. We move in September, and at the beginning of October, there's a sprint that I'm thinking about doing. I don't have any kind of time in mind either. It's just for fun, just to do something. And then in December, my wife and I are going to do a High Rocks, or at least that's the plan. From what I'm seeing, they sell out really fast, so I've added my name to a list to be emailed when the tickets become available. So we'll see if I can get us in on the. She wants to do the couples one, so if I can get in on the duo or the couples, whatever it's called, this will be our first High Rocks. So I'm looking forward to that, and we'll see.